Hi everybody and welcome to the Toronto Real Estate Show with Jenelle and Leslie. I'm Jenelle Cameron.
Hi there, I'm Leslie Pearson.
And today we are going to talk about when Canada's real estate market is going to recover. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you had a great week, and it has been a hot week.
Unbearable. I know you love it, I do not.
Yeah, it does suck the life out of you, but I'm cherishing every moment, knowing that.
I will never complain about winter again. This for me solidifies my strong preference for the cold.
Yeah, I feel the exact opposite.
It's so draining.
So where should you live? Like, what's the best?
Where
weather?
should I live?
Yeah, best weather for
weather-wise?
you. Do you think?
If we're talking about Canada,
Anywhere in the world, where do you think would be like? Obviously not like.
anywhere in the world. I might live in Spain,
Yeah.
or Portugal, or
Never too hot,
yeah,
never too cold.
but in Canada,
BC probably
I can't live in BC
because of the rain.
Because of the rain.
East Coast.
Maybe. Or rural Quebec. I don't know. What about you? You want the heat, so you're right where you want to be.
Well, I just don't like the cold,
Mhm.
so I don't know. I think for
But
Canada,
also, we don't usually get Toronto doesn't get the worst cold.
Oh yes, we do. That's way too cold. I don't ever.
I
I don't ever want to see snow again.
Okay, so you're out of Canada.
Well, yes, but if I had to stay in Canada, obviously West Coast, I think is the best weather for me.
Mhm.
But I don't. No, I think best weather. You know where I think is the best weather in the world? San Diego.
I love San Diego.
It's never hot, never cold.
Love it there.
It's just like from
Yeah.
15 to 25 most of the time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wouldn't live there, but I love it.
Yeah,
I
I'd
did
live there.
briefly lived in La Jolla when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd live in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's great. Yeah. Every time I've been there, I'm like, I can't believe people live here.
In the States,
Seems like
my preference is the West Coast.
Yeah, I like New York, but
Yeah.
I would do New York or California. Probably nowhere
I
else.
agree.
Yeah.
I like
Hawaii, I
Chicago.
live there. I like Chicago, but too
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, see.
But beautiful city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go back. It's been
Like
a while.
Boston too.
Yes,
City.
I've never been.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a nice city.
My parents liked Boston.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Or Memphis.
Yeah, no. That's too hot for you.
No, I think I need the cold, because cold. You can always put on more layers. You can't rip off skin, and I have just been wilting. I have not wanted to be. I just go from air conditioning to air conditioning. What's the fun of that?
Yeah.
I really hate it. But I've always had a preference for the winter. But
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, maybe Sweden or something like that, which is fun. Okay, so we're going to talk about when Canada's real estate market is going to recover, particularly the Toronto area. But before we do that, anything to report on the market? It's been
Quiet.
quiet this week. Yeah, I had a
Quiet.
busy couple of weeks with leases, and then those have died down, and now it's a little bit quiet again.
Yeah. The summer is quiet, but typically I think getting through to the third week of July is quite busy, but I have found this year that it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
August is usually pretty slow. And then,
And I found, we have a ton of properties for sale, but I do find the interesting ones have been pulled for the summer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
There's a lot of pricing problems too. Like I
Right.
see, because I think we all fall victim to that, but I think that ones I'm seeing way overpriced
Yeah.
need to come down. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, I've had several agents of homes that I've gone to see call me and say, we're taking it off the market and we're going to figure what we're going to do come the fall, but they would still sell it if you want it.
Yeah, which is,
Okay.
good luck to you.
Mhm.
I think it is interesting because, we can favorite listings, obviously, as the public can, but on our internal back-end system, and I've got some favorited on there that I've had. There's a couple that have been there 2 years.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're talking about
When that's
what
gonna
the
change.
recovery might look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But recovery from what? Like, first of all, like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, how do we get here, I guess, is the question. And I think there's...
And is it a surprise we're here? Should we have known this?
Well, maybe, but I think as usual, the government, with their rising of the rates for what the reasons that they do, was too fast and too soon, and it halted all of the real estate in the country. And they never seem to be able to get that right, where it doesn't seem to be slow enough. And I'm not sure this was their intention. Maybe it was, like, to completely stop the real estate market, but I'm hearing about all the ramifications now from having no real estate transactions happening, like the city of Toronto, how much money it's lost in land transfer tax. And other cities in the same boat, and it's because nothing is selling anywhere. People just aren't transacting. I think they didn't take into effect that people would just stop, and I've never really quite seen that before.
But also I don't think that's the only factor.
No, but I think if we're talking real estate, I mean, we're talking interest rates. We went from 0 to 5% in 1 year. And obviously that made buying way more expensive for people. But even though rates have started to come down a bit, it's just still too expensive. So we've even got all of these people who are in the process of renewing mortgages.
More than ever before.
Right, who just don't have any interest in changing. Like, they're like, I'm not going to renew my mortgage now. I'm going to renew it, but I'm not going to buy anything new. I'm just going to stick with it. And that's something I hadn't really considered, because those people don't want to sell because prices are down, and they don't want to buy anything new because interest rates are still too high. So they're doing nothing. So all of that, if you think about all of those people who now are probably with another 5-year term, who aren't going to do anything for 5 years because now they're going to lock in again, that is interesting. And something I hadn't really thought about.
But why would people decide not to buy? Like, it would have no impact on their interest, on their mortgage payment.
No, but their mortgage would be higher. They'd have to pay more money. Most people are trading
Not high.
up.
Pardon me?
Most people are trading up in value, right? They're not trading down.
Right.
So,
So they're seeing
they're not going to downsize.
Staying put as the safest option.
And renovating.
Maintaining
the
status quo.
So I get it, right? I think, like,
I hear renovating is way down too. People are afraid to spend money.
It could be. Well, I have a lot of friends in my circles who are in the process of renovating.
And okay.
Instead, in lieu of moving.
Yeah, okay.
Which we saw during COVID as well. But it is interesting. Like, I myself have 3 mortgages up for renewal in the next 2 months, and my initial reaction to all of them is I do nothing. I'm just going to renew them and feel it out for another 5 years and see how it goes. And that's kind of what made me realize,
if I'm feeling that way,
everyone's feeling that way.
Yeah.
Some of them I may have sold.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that now. Prices are down. I'm not going to buy anything else. Forget it.
Yeah, prices are down. You're not going to lose money on yours because you
bought
bought
them
such
lose
a long
money,
time
but
ago.
I just wouldn't. They're not good enough that it would make me
They may
have
not
any
even sell.
incentive. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So it's a disheartening time.
It is. Yeah. So that was one thing. We had new government rules that made it harder for people to buy. They banned foreign buyers, right? They extended that to 2027. There's all kinds of, increased taxes for residents. We've got less immigration coming in, and that removed a lot of people from the market.
I know there's cries now, like, bring the foreign buyers back.
Right.
Like,
right.
Bring them back, please. Like, what was that supposed to do?
Cool down the market, I guess.
And then, we had all these foreign students who a lot of parents were buying for them to live in. I think that they were buying a lot of the condos.
Yeah, we've had a few of those. And
that's not happening anyway.
No.
I think the other big issue we have obviously right now is this trade war situation. And I think until we have some sort of a trade agreement in place that is proving to be longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's uncertainty that is the problem.
Mhm.
Even if we get a deal done and it's not, ideal for us, just the fact of having something on paper
Yeah.
that is going to be stabilizing. It's
That's
like,
right.
woof, now we know what we can do. But it's
Mhm.
this like off and on and up and down and backwards and forwards that, no wonder people are
Yeah.
hesitant to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
When
get
you're
that.
uncertain about the economy or your future, you're not going to buy a house.
Yeah, and like as a business, how can you plan and project and how can you operate in this environment?
Gosh, I have no idea. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Um,
I have several acquaintances, a few, who were laid off yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a big layoff. Mhm.
At one place.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
Bank or something.
No, a big retail
Oh.
operation in Canada
Oh, retails.
that might have Canada or a variation of it in its name.
Yeah. That sucks.
Anyway, they're panicked.
Yeah.
They knew it was coming, but they're still in shock, I think. It's
Yeah.
only been less than 24 hours, but, and I've heard of a boy who was a childhood friend of my boy's who is an apprentice as an electrician. And I don't know a lot about that world, but what I believe from that world is you get taken on by a company and they provide you with work, and there's also in-class parts of the apprenticeship. And that's all provided and paid for by the company that takes you on as an apprentice. Well, they just laid off 3/4 of their employees.
Wow.
And so this kid is not only out of work, he can't even progress in his schooling
Oh, brutal.
because it has to be sponsored by a company.
Right.
And this is a company, the trade is electricians who outfit new construction builds.
Right.
And the builder that they was their primary kind of client went under.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, people are not paying.
Yeah.
People are not buying new construction,
Right.
but then they're not paying
right.
the amounts that
Yeah.
they owe at the end.
Yeah, so he feels at a loss because there was somewhat of a push that not everybody should go to university and a push for the trades, and then now.
Yeah.
And he specializes in these large, condo
Yeah.
kind of electrical jobs, and they're not having. They're sitting empty,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a really tough time.
it is.
And as a real estate agent, I find it hard when the conversations are always with people who are down.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say to people is that nothing lasts forever.
Right, for sure.
The good times didn't last forever. The bad times won't last forever. And like everything else in life, we have ups and downs, and we have to ride the wave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you get in your head about anything, negative,
Yeah, and I've had a couple of conversations with these people who are just newly affected by unemployment, and a couple of them said, well, remind me, when did you buy your house? And the answer in these cases is always 20 years ago. And so you for 20 years have had a place to live, and it's worth much more than it was when you bought it. You're sitting,
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, going back to kind of the situation we're in right now, I just have to point this out because it's fascinating to me. Obviously, Toronto in particular has way too many condos on the market.
Oh.
We have 58 months worth of inventory.
I saw that.
58 months. I have never seen anything like that before. I didn't even realize it was that bad, which is 14 times more than we had in 2022.
Yeah.
There are 2,800 condo projects that were canceled last year, but we are still having new ones built that were already in the works, and so it's just going to be even worse.
But 2,800 canceled?
But right now we have like 3,500 units on the market just south of Bloor.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane.
So with those 2,800 projects that were canceled, what's happening to those properties now?
I think it depends what stage they were at, right? Most of these haven't started to be built yet, so they've just bought the land.
Yeah.
So
they cancel a project, the land sits there, the land goes back up for sale.
Okay.
So
And the reason 2,800 are shut down is because people aren't putting up money to buy them.
The way the law works is that the construction can't begin until they've sold a certain percentage, and I think it's 65%.
So they're not, that's the core problem, they're not getting that, so they can't proceed.
Yeah, so they can't proceed, and it, you know, and then we've got all of these builders that are, it's time to occupy the units, but the people are like, I can't afford it.
Right, because there's kind of a stage progression of your payment when you buy something pre-construction.
Yeah.
And you have to requalify at the end, not just at the beginning.
That's right.
And with what's happening in the economy and with interest rates, some people are not, they're not qualifying for what they did when they initiated the process. Yes, very,
very strange times.
And when times were good, I think builders would be satisfied with the consequence for buyers who backed out of just losing their deposit.
Yeah.
But now, because times are not good, that's not the end of it for buyers who pull out. We're hearing of buyers who, in addition to losing their deposit, are being, sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, and will have to, at a minimum, pay the difference between the value that it sells for and what they paid for, and that could be hundreds of thousands.
It could be.
And I don't know if that's ever happened before. It was seen not to be a risk because values always went up between when you bought and when you sold. So that's why builders weren't really cared about it. They would sell it for more if you backed out.
Not a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
So what's happening right now, so let's just give you a quick synopsis of kind of like what's going on in the city. So home prices still in Toronto about 1.1 million. So that's the greater Toronto area. So that's still very expensive for people who are struggling to get in the market with higher interest rates. We currently have about 28,000 properties for sale, which is more than we've had since 1996. So it's almost a record number of properties for sale, and unfortunately it's July, so that's not even a high number. So it's like, because all these places are going to go off the market and come back on in September. It's going to be the same. But they're saying 31% of listings are selling relatively quickly, and by quickly I think they mean under 30 days.
Well, that's a good number. And year over year the numbers are like devastating, but month over month there's
they've been kind of up or down, but all very slight. The good news is so CMHC did like a big study recently, and they asked people a bunch of different questions about how they felt about home buying and investing in homes, and 80% still think investing in real estate in Canada is the best long-term investment that they can make, so that is good. Most obviously are very concerned about right now. They are not interested in making a move at the moment, but they do still believe in real estate, so that makes me feel strong. Okay, like what needs to change? So we've got kind of like a few, I think, issues. The first is we have to get a trade agreement in place. I think that's obvious for everybody. Until we have that, I just don't think people will feel confident enough to do it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, it's uncertain.
It's just too uncertain.
It's like, I don't know, it seems like it would be like living with an alcoholic parent. You just never know what you're going to face when you open that door. Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, he's starting to make trade agreements with other countries. Like, what's our problem?
I don't know.
Let's get this done.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
So,
I think that's the first one. I think interest rates, until they keep them low or lower them a bit more and keep them stable, I don't think we're going to do anything's going to happen. They need to give us some assurance that this is what the rate's going to be, for the next little while.
Well, I think they can't increase them.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine they would.
I don't know.
But, this, like today, there was an announcement and everything is staying the course.
Right.
I don't think that's terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's still too high for people.
Yeah.
They can't buy at 5%. I think the average 5-year fixed rate is hovering around 5 to 5.5% for most people. You might be able to get it for a little bit under that. It's still too high for something when you're looking at 1.1 million as the average. And I think that those two things are not aligning. And I think that the sentiment out there amongst buyers is like, we're just gonna wait it out.
Yeah.
Because that's just too much. So I think those are the biggest issues, and when we're looking at sort of recovery, the economists are projecting a recovery in Toronto probably not until 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely condos are gonna take, I would say even longer than that.
I would too. Condos, I'm sure another 5-6 years.
Yeah. But the housing market, you know, we're at what, middle of 2025.
Yeah.
I hear some talk about next spring.
Starting to see a rebound. That's kind of what I think. And
but I mean, couldn't you say we're starting to see a rebound now?
Yeah.
In freeholds?
I would say
small.
I don't know. I would say no. Maybe only in a couple of spots. There was another good article that came out this week, and I'll pull it up because I looked at a picture of it, but it talked about where properties had seen the greatest increase or decrease around the city, and there's like nowhere where we're really seeing a lot of, you know, some neighborhoods are stable.
Yeah. So if you are someone who has listed your house, but you've taken it off for the summer lull and you're going to put it back out in the fall, why are you thinking that your house will sell?
I guess some do. Like, as we've seen before, there are some places and some neighborhoods where things do seem to be going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be the main reason. Yeah. I'm just pulling up this chart. This was in this is the Remax report. We should do probably next week. We should talk about this. But it gives you the price for all the different districts in Toronto. And, you know, whether the change in average price, I think, was over the year, if I do recall. So I'm just looking here. Yeah, over the year. So the bright red are the only places that have gone up 5% or more. So there's only...
Not very much there.
No. So C12, 8 and 9, and W3. When we're looking at 0 to 5% increase, that's kind of where we talk about, you know, one was talking about Leslieville, Riverdale, and the beach. Those are hovering somewhere around 3 to 4% increase. W1, which is South High Park. E8, which is out in Scarborough, and that's it. Nothing central, really. I think we had another, that was it. If we're talking about minus 5% or more in a decrease of value, that is much of the city, and a 0 to 5% decrease is, you know, kind of the remainder.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. So we see a number of factors that must happen in order to fuel some renewed interest. So we need to maintain or put a hold or reduce interest rates. We need a tariff deal.
We
what else
need
do we
some employment stability. I think our unemployment rate is a little higher now than it's been in a while. We're almost at 7%. That needs to change. And I think for, you know, most people who have places on the market, you need to reduce your price.
It's all price.
Yeah. And I think that that's going to be the sticky part, because where we're at right now is we've got all, you know, 38,000 listings or whatever they are, and people are not, like, there's no price, like, there's no movement in price from the seller. That's the problem, like the biggest problem. Like, if we can't get rid of the inventory that's there,
it's just going to accumulate and accumulate. That's what's happening.
And these economists are saying, like, the condos that are currently on the market are probably not going to clear until 2027. Like, that's a long time for existing inventory. That doesn't even include new inventory. So if you're going to put your stuff on the market, just be careful about your timing and make sure that it makes sense, because otherwise, you know, you're just one of many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've talked in the past about there's a certain neighborhood that has a few, all very similar houses for sale, and they're all priced all around the same, and then one came out that was a couple $100,000 less, and all the listing agents of those higher priced ones were so mad at that agent. But you know, in my view, that agent is more than them, at least, working for his client.
Yeah.
And
what
and
district? What district was that, by
That's
the way?
C11, which is primarily Leaside.
Right. So C11, as you can see, is hovering between
Yes.
0 to 5% decrease.
Right.
Like.
Right. So even the
person
one
did
guy,
the right thing.
right? But even that's not selling.
Yeah.
It's got to even go lower if they're really
Yeah.
interested in selling.
Yeah.
And in that one case, I know that person bought in 2022, I think, or 2021. For significantly more than it's listed at now. But you know, so he called because I had seen the house a couple times. This is the one that's kind of lower than the others, and wanted my feedback. And I just said, you know, I think you're doing the right thing. I think you actually need to come lower in this market, but we're in the business of selling houses, not just listing them. So those ones listed higher, they're just sitting. Nobody's going to see them.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Yeah. And that is such a good point, because people talk about how busy they are as real estate agents, which I just can't with that.
Yeah.
But when they do, it's like, that doesn't mean they're selling anything. It means
No.
they're listing shit.
Right.
And
Right.
that's not selling.
That's not our job.
I had this conversation with a guy this morning who is another realtor, and he knows another realtor who's like generally quite busy, and he's like, oh my gosh, I just think to myself, he's saying about her, just take it easy, like you work so much, like you have no life. And I'm like, but all she does is list. Like they're not selling.
Yeah.
They just get listed.
Yeah.
And she's got 15 listings, but all of them are overpriced and none of them are selling. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to work hard for your clients when you're listing the house for sale, but that listing it is not the job.
Listing is not the job.
And so much of it is being aware of your market and the factors that are local as well as, you know, national, and pricing, knowing your pricing.
Yeah.
Because I think it, you know, usually comes down to price, and there's a point at which we see, even in these areas you've talked about, the city, that places are selling. Well, why are they selling? There's either something really unique about them, but at that price, buyers are willing to do it.
Yeah.
So there is something
it is
to do.
moving and shaking, but it's got to be the right thing.
Yeah. So what would you tell people to do now?
Well, buyers, I'd be like, take advantage. Good Lord. But sellers, if you gotta sell, you gotta sell. I mean, I guess it's the same thing we always say, but you just have to be realistic, and it's our job to make sure we're giving good counsel, I guess, and not.
So if you don't have to sell, you wouldn't sell now?
I don't think I would, unless I really wanted to get a deal on something else.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great time to get a deal.
Yeah.
So, like, if I was ready to move to a condo, probably about a year out, I would do it now.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready. I'm not ready for other reasons, but but that would be the right. You know, I would not care so much about, because I'm going to get such a good deal on the buy side that I would sell.
Right. You're buying and selling in the same market, so it's kind of you're netting out.
Yeah.
So we're clearly telling people, are we to sell before buying?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you may never sell.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. Like I've listed a couple in the last few weeks that. Like we haven't had any showings at all.
No action.
Nothing.
Do you think we're getting to the stage where sellers would accept a sale of purchaser's property?
Oh yeah, I think so. I've seen a few.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's an indication of tough times.
Tough times that we
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, hang tight. It'll get better. It's just going to be what it is. Next week we'll probably have the stats. Maybe.
Yeah. Are we gonna take summer holidays?
We're gonna. I guess, what's the date today?
August 1st is on the weekend. I think it might even be Friday. Today's the 30th, I think.
Well, we'll announce on our Instagram whether or not we're going to do one more or not.
Yeah.
And then we might take August off, because we normally.
I'm not going anywhere, but.
I'm away for a few weeks, but I'm not from the 15th.
Right.
Anyway, we'll let y'all know.
Alrighty.
In the meantime,
let us know if you have any questions. Don't forget to follow us on our social channels at the Jenelle Cameron team. And any questions, any comments, send them in. We love them. And of course, have a great August and happy real estate.
Happy real estate, everyone.